the way. Pulled perilously close to the Sonics, but in the end, the 36 of Smith didn't help. It was Gary Payton who took over the floor, and the Seattle Supersonics survived a scare in Atlanta to win the ball game. Tonight, the same two teams go at it, and the same two clubs are off to a great start. The Sonics are 5-1, and the Atlanta Hawks are off to their best start in franchise history. The Sonics tread into the house of Dikembe Mutombo in a moment. The action coming up next.
I think it's got to be Dikembe. He's got the long wingspan. He can bother the shot inside of Vin Baker. Basically, I think Lenny Wilkens is going to make Vin knock down some jumpers. And Dikembe's playing great offensive basketball, just under 16 points a game. It's about almost 3 points above his average from last year. And Dikembe shooting like 84% from the free throw line. And last year he shot just 71, so he's made major improvement in that area.
Steve Smith averaging 48% from the field this year. Last year hit the Sonics with a 36-point effort in this building, or over in the Omni, and 9 of 15 from three-point range. The 7 he hit in the fourth quarter were tough. They were hard shots with people hanging on him, off balance, falling away, in transition, you name it, he hit it in the fourth quarter.
And Gary Payton's going to have to get into Steve Smith. He's going to front him down in the post. He's going to play that G-Love glove defense and try and frustrate Steve Smith, but that's not an easy job.
The tip deflected in the backcourt by Mutombo. It's taken by Mookie Blaylock. Tyrone Corbin now has it on the wing, left side, checked by Detlef Schrempf. Mutombo will toss that on top. Blaylock will back off, feed low to Laettner. Covered by Hawkins. Illegal defense whistled on the Sonics.
That'll be on Detlef Schrempf. A little slow and a little quick in reacting. He came over with Hersey Hawkins guarding Laettner. Baker was about to drop down. Detlef about to guard him from the baseline. You can't have three guys guarding one guy.
At halftime, Marcus Johnson joins Daryl Gerritsen in a televised interview, and they'll be talking about the rule changes in the NBA. Backing down now, Mutombo walks across the alley, sweeping hook over Aaron Williams is off the heel of the iron. The rebound taken by Detlef Schrempf. Schrempf averaging nearly 7 per ball game. Wheels it in the corner of the Hawk. He'll set, fire, and hit a three-pointer that's good, and the Sonics are on top 3-0.
That's a confidence carryover from the last ball game. Hersey Hawkins knocked down those 2 tough shots, those 2 jumpers late in the game.
That's after he adjusted. He missed a couple short in that fourth quarter, then came back to drill a couple of beauties. Here's Smith now off the screen. Steps outside. Laettner rolls in, fronted by Hawkins. Doubled now. Out on the wing they go to Corbin. His jumper rattles in and out. The ball deflected on top to Blaylock. To Smith for the tie. No. Rebound, Hersey Hawkins. Hawkins with a long rebound. Ahead to Gary Payton. Head swiveling. Nice pass over to Aaron Williams. Clears to the hole. Double pumps. That allowed Mutombo time to work his way over and block the shot. Atlanta will take it the other way. Laettner up into the paint, stops and wheels it out on the wing here to Steve Smith.
That's all Mutombo needed, was just a little hesitation to get that one by Aaron.
Laettner, open lane, drives right at Baker. Held by Mutombo. There's no whistle. That allows Laettner to go to the glass untouched for the bucket.
Yeah, but that was a defensive mix-up. Aaron Williams and Vin Baker were going for it. Mutombo, no one picked up Christian Laettner.
Sonics lead at 3-2. Payton with it, front court left side. Payton centers it to Detlef Schrempf. Aaron Williams will drop down on the left side. Hawkins will rotate out on the far side. Gary slants off the post, gets the ball, drives into the lane, and hits a little softy runner off the right foot. Nice play.
And shot it up by the top of the backboard to make sure.
Smith the other way, towering above Hawkins at 6'8", takes the lob pass over the defense and lays it up and in. And the Sonics lead is at 5-4.
Yeah, Hawkins 6'3", Payton 6'4", but Payton a lot longer arm span than Gary Payton.
Here's Vin Baker, returns with the fall-away jumper. He was fouled. The ball rolls in. Will it count? Bucket will count, and Baker will go to the line for the shot. No, beg your pardon. It was before the shot.
Yeah, Rashawn Michel called it a one-shot foul. A one-shot foul inside. Is Vin Baker going to try and take that dribble move to the middle? And this is what I was wondering if Vin could have success shooting over Mutombo inside. And Mutombo didn't even get a hand up defensively.
Sonics on top here right now. Lead it 5-4. Baker on the baseline fires away this jumper that rims off the front iron. Rebound grabbed to the weak side by Laettner. And he throws the outlet past Mookie Blaylock. Underthrew him, and Mookie really wasn't looking to pass.
Yeah, I mean, Mookie could have handled that if he would have been looking at the basketball, and Lenny Wilkens has got to be upset. Mookie had no idea that the pass was coming. He's the point guard. He's going to get that outlet pass, even though they use Steve Smith to bring the ball up the court at times.
Here's a lob over to Hawkins. He'll hook it back out on top to Baker. Swings it across the arc to Gary. Dives in deep, double team, finds the open man. It's Baker. He plants a jumper from the top of the key. Vin Baker with a beauty.
Lenny Wilkens is going to say, make a believer out of me, Vin Baker. I don't believe you can knock down that 15 to 20-foot jump shot with consistency. He's looked pretty good on the first couple he's taken.
7-4 score. The Sonics. Blaylock out beyond the three-point arc. Skips it to Leitner, looking over the right shoulder. Backs down on Williams. Turns the fall-away baseline. It might have been deflected. It came up short. Rebound grabbed by Detlef. He'll pedal across midcourt, get an early screen from Williams, but he'll back off on the sideline. Checked by Leitner. They're ISO him. He'll drive into the lane. Skip pass to Hawk out of the corner. Coxon fires, and he drills another long-range jumper. That one a two-pointer for the Hawks.
The summer vacation might have ended for Hawkins' jumper. It might be back off a vacation. It showed up in Philly. It's showing up here early in Atlanta. That's a great sign.
9-4 score. Maybe just left it on the East Coast. Here's Corbin with a long jumper on the left side. He drained it from 18 left side. Of course, Hawkins spends a lot of time in Charlotte, North Carolina in the offseason. He and his wife are building a beautiful home in Charlotte, and maybe that's where the jumper was left. You never know. 9-6 count Sonics. Payton with it outside. Swinging left side to Detlef. Jabs right, goes left, takes Corbin with him. Nice little baseline pull-up J from 10 is good for Detlef Schrempf.
Detlef has got to just stay within the flow. He's going to get his shot opportunities. Doesn't need to force a lot early. Go to Payton and Baker early and let Detlef get his as the game progresses.
Sonics early shooting 5 of 7. They go low to Dikembe on the block. Trying to force his way middle. Spins back baseline. Sweeping hook up and catches some rim and rattles in from Mutombo. He averages 16 a game.
And you don't want to double team Mutombo because he's got that long wingspan. He can just see over most players and pick you apart with his passes.
Sonics lead it, get 11-8. Now Gary's double, driven outside the three-point ring, but he maintains the dribble and now backs down on Mookie. Turns, swivels, little up and under flip. An air ball grabbed by Mutombo. Wheels to the midcourt to Blaylock, who had released after the miss from Payton. He's grabbed from behind by Hersey Hawkins for the foul.
Yeah, not the greatest shot in the world for Gary Payton. That possession kind of held onto the basketball too long. Going to do a little double clutches. Blaylock at 6 feet can still get up and bother because he is such a great defensive player. And then Blaylock likes to penetrate. Hersey's got to keep him in front of him. Don't go so much for gambles and steals, but keep Mookie right in front of him.
Sonics lead it 11-8. The Mookster out in front of his own bench. Loops it to Steve Smith. Sonics show double with Williams running at him. Steve will give it to Blaylock. Back to Smith on the baseline. Shut off by Payton. Smith will lob to Mookie. Two-man play. Gary steps up on Blaylock. Rips the ball away. Saves it to Hersey Hawkins. Magnificent play by the glove.
And not only the rip, but the ability to get around Smith, battle Smith, outfight Smith for defensive position.
Hawkins in low to Detlef. Sonics have hit 3 of the last 4 shots. Detlef turns baseline. Fall-away floater over Leitner is good, and the Sonics are red hot early, hitting 6 for 9 from the field. They lead at 13-8.
Detlef is playing like he does not believe Christian Leitner can guard him, and from every early indication, he might be right.
I'm a believer. It's 13-8 Sonics. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Start here with 6:52 left in the first quarter. They lead by 5, and they've hit 6 for 9 from the field for their last 5 shots. And Marcus, they've distributed it extremely well. Speaking of distribution, Ticketmaster. You like that segue?
Ooh,
is open now at 628-0888. 206-628-0888. Single game tickets are available, including the game Thursday. The Sonics in Detroit, Grant Hill. Lindsey Hunter in the house. Lanham will bring it in bounds. Here's Blaylock with it outside. Up fakes. Hawkins drives in to about 15-foot range. Fires and misses. Corbin with a rebound, but did he push off to get it? He did, says Eddie Rush.
Mookie Blaylock, that's his first field goal attempt of the night. He had not taken one the first few minutes of this game. Credit Hersey Hawkins. He's doing a good job getting to him early in transition. That's what you want to do. Blaylock loves to penetrate, loves to shoot that long three-point ball also.
Sonics 6 for 9. 4 Sonics have scored. Hawkins has hit a couple of perimeter jump shots. Payton is posted. Dikembe comes over to double. That leaves Baker open for a 15-footer that rims. Payton hustles in for the rebound, keeps it alive, and Leitner scoops it up off the floor. And here comes Atlanta with Mookie Blaylock at the control. Smith wing left, covered by Aaron Williams. Smith will go right to the baseline, finds a man. It's Dikembe to the glass, powers it up and in.
Yeah, Aaron wasn't aware of the fact that Gary was coming down for double team help from the top. If he was, Aaron would not have let Steve Smith go baseline so easily.
13-10 score, and Williams sets up in the baseline. He swivels and fires over Leitner and drills a jumper. Aaron Williams, who came into this game shooting 71% for the year, had hit 20 of 28 field goal attempts.
Yeah, and his last ball game, he wasn't aggressive offensively as George Karl would have liked. He's got to keep himself in the game, stay out of foul trouble. When the open jump shot is there, take that opportunity. Now, there's some problems with the shot clock. The overhead clock here, or scoreboard clock, is not working at all. Now the shot clock is starting to malfunction. The Aaron Williams can do that. You know, you bring Laettner out or Dikembe out, whoever's guarding him. If he's got that open 12 to 15-foot look, he's shown the coaching staff that he can knock that down. So don't be afraid, young man. Carry it high and let it fly.
The Hawks have out-rebounded the Sonics.
It's kind of my motto.
5-3. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Right there, man.
Well, they're still working on the clock down there. Lenny Wilkins has seen it all in his 25th year of coaching in the NBA.
Your player coach in 2 situations in Seattle, then also in Portland, so he was able to view the game as a player, as a coach would.
15-10 score. Now, once they work out the kinks in the clock, the Hawks have a miscommunication matter to iron out now as Smith throws the ball away from Blaylock into the corner and out of bounds. Atlanta averages 20 turnovers a game. Here's a great lob pass. Schrempf to Blaylock, or make that Baker behind the rim with a flush, reaching out with the right hand and jamming it down.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be too high for him to grab, and I forgot about the long arms. Did a great job bringing it in and throwing it down.
17-10 count later for the basketball. Posted right side. Checked by Baker. They open it up. He fakes. Drops back, double team, swings it to Corbin. He'll take the 3 and rim it. Rebound grabbed by the Hawk. Up come the Sonics and Payton clearing midcourt. Payton comes off the Schrempf screen, straightens and looks. Picks up the dribble and needs help. Detlef comes out to oblige. Detlef looking over the left shoulder, inches down on the block, turns middle, sweeping hook of 10, rattling in. Detlef Schrempf has 6 first-quarter points.
And you know what I like about that play? Vin Baker had the original post position. He saw that Detlef was down there against Corbin. Detlef is the hot guy right now. Get out of the way. Let the hot guy shoot the basketball.
Blaylock on the point. Lobs it loaded to Dikembe. Dikembe looks over the right shoulder. Works his way in with a straight arm. Baker takes a pretty good hack at him. Mutombo shots off the mark. But Mookie was there to rush in and tap it up and in. Mookie with a follow picks up his first deuce. Sonics lead it 19-12. Payton backs in on the block, tosses outside to Baker, and then Gary will get it back. He turns, he's muscled from behind, and Blaylock has committed his first foul.
Fouls on Mookie.
Mookie did a nice job with the offensive rebound, but how many offensive rebounds does Mookie Blaylock going to get? Not very many. As Gary Payton clear it out. Now, Big Mutombo, Dikembe is coming down the double team.
Jim McElvain.
We saw an alley-oop a few possessions ago where Ben did a great job just going upstairs and pulling it down and throwing it down.
Jim McElvain now will step in for the Sonics for Aaron Williams. 19-12 score. Here's a pass outside in the corner to Detlef Schrempf. Schrempf again comes across the lane. Corbin reaches in, hacks the ball. Tyrone believed he had hit nothing but basketball, but a foul called nonetheless. It's the second on Tyrone.
Detlef usually kind of lets the game come to him, but now he senses that he is on. He's got mismatches with Laettner on him, with Corbin on him. He's taking it aggressively.
Down the inbound. There's Detlef Schrempf with a gimme from the baseline. He nails the jumper. He has 8 points. It's surprising how many intermediate jumpers Atlanta has allowed. Seattle's hit 10 of 14 now from the field, and they lead by 9. Laettner drives into the lane. He has a little sweeping hook of 10 up and in the middle.
Tough shot for Christian Laettner, who has not played as well over the first 6 games as he played last year's first 6 is pointed down from 17.5 to about 10.5 this season.
Again, the Sonics start the offense from the near side. Gary with his back to the basket, gets a screen from Baker, drives into the lane, stops, reverse, fall away 15-footer rimming into the hands of Dikembe Mutombo. Look at Baker pick up Blaylock in backcourt as Mutombo works his way down the floor. Then Baker now will rejoin Mutombo on the right side of the lane. Corbin feeds it to Laettner. He turns and looks, doubled in the corner, out to Corbin, 10 on the shot clock. They rotate it to Smith with a 3-look, rimming off, rebound Laettner. He'll lay it up over McElvain and in. Mutombo and McElvain were tied up, and that opened up the lane for Laettner. Back on the Sonics, a lob to Baker, who again beats the Atlanta defense back, and he will lay it in. The delivery there made by the glove, who averages 10 assists a game, MJ.
Second in the league, Gary Payton, but you got to exact some of that out of this Atlanta team. The big guys, you got to run, make them pay the price. When they make a bucket at the other end, they have a tendency to relax.
Steve Smith double team will feed to Laettner. Lob flow to Smith, trying to work his way on the baseline. Shot blocked away by McElvain. Mack picks it up, sends it outside to the glove. Gary up the center of the floor, over to the Hawk, on the wing for the 3. Got it! Percy Hawkins with a 3. Outstanding defensive play by McElvain. The setup to the glove and the shot by the Hawk.
Set up by the glove. City of Brotherly Mug carryover.
In low, a whistle. And a foul called as Corbin worked his way to the end line. The foul down low is on Jimmy McElvain. Timeout called on the floor. The score, the Sonics 26 and the Hawks 16. We'll be back in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
Sonics basketball is being brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the Sonics.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome with Marcus Johnson, Kevin Calabro on hand. 2:27 left first quarter. The Hawk getting busy early. Has 8 points, 2 3-pointers, and the Sonics have been red hot. 12 of 17. They've hit 6 of the last 7 shots.
Talk about that construction with his new home back east. He's pulled that jumper out of the brick pile.
Here's Leitner with it.
That's where it was.
Over it comes to Smith. Slants in, finds Leitner from 20. And he'll let it fly. Nothing but net for Leitner. A half dozen in the first quarter for the Dookie. 26-18 count, Seattle by 8.
He's played pretty much like Dookie the first part of this season. As
Hauser.
He's shooting about 54% from the field, and it just has not been Christian Leitner-like.
Hawk with another 3. Feeling it, flying it, and rimming it off. Rebound, Steve Smith. Smitty up the center of the floor. Look out, he'll pull up and shoot the 3. Hesitated, thought about it, drives in. Nice pass in there to Leitner, but he lost it out of bounds. And another turnover on Atlanta. They are turnover prone. That is their third for 6 Sonics points off turnovers. And Seattle does not have a turnover.
Yes, Seattle taking care of the basketball. Atlanta averages just under 20 turnovers a game. And it's pretty well spread out between almost all the guys. I mean, a lot of guys around 3.5, 3.6 TOs a game. So they all like to throw the ball around.
Chucky Brown now in the lineup for Atlanta, and a lineup change for the Sonics as well as Perkins steps in. McIlvaine remains in the ball game. He's out on the wing trying to screen for Kersey, but he says, all right, I'm warm coming off the bench. I'll take the 18-footer, and Jerome knocks it down. So everybody in the act, and the Sonics have only missed 6 shots in 19 deliveries.
And they are playing efficient basketball. We talked about that. You're going to get pretty much 1 shot and done. And that's all the Sonics have needed.
10-point lead and another turnover on Atlanta. Chucky Brown sets a moving screen in the estimation of Kenny Maurer. So Seattle will take it back. And Atlanta doesn't force a lot of turnovers either, just under 14 a ball game.
Not at all. They don't get out and pressure you like most teams do who are 6-0. You would think they'd force more turnovers, but the Sonics. Now, this is the bench that we talked about also in pregame. I really feel Sam Perkins is kind of due to have a good shooting game here in the early season.
Payton remains in the ball game. They'll flick it outside to Kersey to get fresh dribbles. Gary arcs into the lane, trying to knife in, double team. His pass out on the point is kick saved by Leitner, and a beauty out of bounds. It'll be Sonic basketball with a reset of shot clock. The Sonics now have McIlvaine and Perkins up front with Kersey. Dale Ellis steps in, and here comes Alan Henderson to counter that move. Henderson having a sensational year now in his 3rd year from Indiana. 6'9", he gets 12 points and 6 rebounds a game. A super 6th man for Atlanta. Payton now in the inbounds handles. Hesitates to the baseline. Flings it out on top to Kersey. Rotate over to Ellis. In low on the block. It comes to Mack. He'll turn. Rifle up a shot that rims. Rebound deflected on the inline. It's picked up and saved by Henderson. The outlet pass to Blaylock is knocked down by Gary and tapped over there out of bounds. And it will be Atlanta basketball despite the protest of the glove.
But Jim McIlvaine had 12 seconds on the shot clock, kind of forced that over Christian Leitner, moved the ball around a little bit more. He got 6 or 5 seconds, and you got it in that position. It's okay to shoot that, but that was just a little bit too much time to force that shot up.
32 seconds left in the first quarter. The Sonics lead it by 10 with hot shooting here in the period. Steve Smith is pursued by Ellis and McIlvaine outside. The wheel it low to Leitner has a jump stepper on Kersey and is fouled as he went into the lane with the left hand. So he will get 2 shots.
Foul number 14.
Yeah, Christian Leitner just working the baseline. It's a nice pass from Steve Smith. Going to take the dribble, powered up. Kersey, Sam, Perkins all over Leitner. And Leitner's been having foul troubles. Picked up 2 quick fouls against Jordan and the Bulls for getting into foul trouble late in that game. Has not been able to stay on the floor like Lenny Wilkins would like him to.
Leitner hits the first free throw of the game. McIlvaine rotates out for the Sonics, and they bring Hersey Hawkins back in. The Hawk here in the first quarter has hit 3 of 4. That includes 2 3-pointers. 28-19 score. Leitner's second free throw is good. Leitner leads Atlanta with 8 in the quarter. And now here is Gary Payton with Kersey, Hawkins, Perkins, and Ellis.
You got Gary Payton, a penetrator with 4 good outside shooters on the floor.
Kersey at the top. Perkins stacked to the far side with Ellis, and Hawkins stands stationary in the corner. Here's Gary with a drive into the lane. The running right-hander won't go. Kersey crashes. Ball deflected. Grabbed by Henderson. Out to Smith at midcourt for the 3 at the buzzer. That will not go. So that ends the first quarter in Atlanta. Here at the Georgia Dome, in this cavernous space, the Sonics have taken the early lead at 28-20 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. up on your favorite Sonic players thanks to Southwest Airlines, Aldi of America, and Miller Brewing Company. It can all be easily accessed on the Sonics homepage at www.sonics.nba.com. One with Marcus Johnson, Kevin Calabro at the Georgia Dome with the Sonics take an early lead at 28-20. Opening moments of the second quarter. Peyton now right sideline with 10 on the shot clock. Fires it on top to Kersey. Dispatches it to Perkins for the three that rims in and out. Laettner had the rebound, but grabbed away by Kersey, and a foul's going to be called on an astonished Christian Laettner.
Yeah, astonished, but credit the hustle of Jerome Kersey. He just snuck in there and stole this rebound. Big smooth wide open, almost gets it to drop. Kersey got to fight his way around, anticipates where the ball is coming down, picks up the foul on Christian Laettner. Great hustle, another extra possession for his team.
Wild thing. Here's Ellis outside. Curls off of Perkins. Pickens sinks the follow-away jumper. Dale Ellis with a deuce.
Should have a field day against the rookie Ed Gray, who is not used to getting through NBA-type screens, and Dale Ellis does not need that much time to get his shot off.
Gray is 6'3" and Ellis 6'7". Here's Blaylock beyond the three-point ring left side. Shuffles to the inline. Spins. Gary's rubbed out on a screen. Now Blaylock nice into the lane, trying to get up a shot amidst four Sonics, and a foul's called. This is on Jim McIlvaine, but a good foul, his second.
Yeah, and that's the kind of foul that if Gary Payton or one of the other guys at the officials are used to coming up with steals like this, they may have gotten away with it, but the big guy McIlvaine would never get away with it. I mean, he's got a lot of basketball right there, and Rashawn Michel, the official, was not in the greatest of positions to call that.
Second foul on Mack, and he's already drawn blood. You can see that up around his nose. Here's Blaylock at the line. He hits the free throw. Mookie 16 points against Cleveland in the overtime victory at 6 of 12 at 9 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals. Mookie from Oklahoma, originally drafted 12th by New Jersey, and in their infinite wisdom traded him in '94. He missed the second shot. Rebound Henderson brings it outside. He finds Laettner diving into the lane, and he powers into McIlvaine. He was outside of that 4-foot radius of the cylinder, and contact was made. Here's the charge.
Yeah, he was out of the radius. McIlvaine, little slide in front, but it had established pretty good positions. Arms extended. Laettner ran him down. But the most important thing is Daryl Garrison addressed the officials in the officials' locker room, which I was privy to watch. Is that, you know, if a guy is just getting to a spot, you don't call it. If he's playing defense, then you give him the benefit of the doubt. And McIlvaine was playing defense on the play.
Sonics by 9. Perkins backs, loads, swings up that hook that won't go. Chucky Brown with a rebound. Ed Gray up in the front court left on our simulcast. Gray, second in the nation in scoring last year for Cal. Pac-10 Player of the Year. Loops it low to Henderson. Out of Indiana to Laettner. Now to Blaylock for the three. No go. Rebound. Jam McIlvaine. The outlet pass nearly overthrown. Ellis makes the nice save. Jimmy Mack with a rebound in the outlet. Now the Sonic setup. Kersey dips at the knees. Floats a bomb, and he nails another jumper from the same spot he hit when first coming off the bench in the first quarter.
Well, you know he's hot when he challenges Dale Ellis to a cigar shooting contest and shoot around. And he was doing that this morning, and he was winning some, what's the name of those Macanudos? Cohiba.
Oh, yes. Here's good. Don't ask me how they got those Cuban cigars. Here's Gray with it beyond the three-point ring. He'll shoot a three. Got it. Ed Gray.
He is a big-time shooter. Ed Gray out of Cal, second leading scorer in the NCAA last year, 25 points a game. He has just almost Reggie range with that jump shot.
8-point lead right now for the Sonics. Peyton with the basketball over to Ellis, curling off the screen. One dribble to the glass, lays it up and in. He blows right by Laettner in the lane. Dale Ellis with a deuce.
Nice screen to pick off the rookie. Ed Gray was having a tough time getting around those screens. And you're used to Dale Ellis pulling up for that jump shot. When he attacks the basket, he almost surprises you.
10-point lead. Brown rifles a diagonal pass to Henderson out of the corner. Takes a while to unload the jumper. Shoots an air ball over the incoming McIlvaine. Laettner's knocked down in the rebound pursuit, and a foul's called on the Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, that foul, the only reason I don't like it is because it was an air ball that was secured by the Sonics, and then you almost bail out Christian Laettner. But there's Dale just going to flick it up softly after the curl off the screen. Just hung the rookie Ed Gray out to dry. You got to keep the pressure on the rookie, make him pay at the defensive end.
Sonics lead by 10. Gray with a long jumper. Kersey made him earn that one. He short-armed it. Rebounded Perkins. The outlet to Greg Anthony. Anthony up on the front court, left side, spots McIlvaine trailing. He'll send in a jumper from the top of the key. Jimmy Mack. And that gets old David Wingate up off the Sonic bench, waving the towel.
I mean, it's a good shot, as long as you knock it down. It's like, no, good shot, Jimmy Mack, yeah.
Well, it's good to see the young man's confidence flowing right now. He's had a block shot, a couple of rebounds, some nice outlet passes, and this shot to give the Sonics a 12-point lead. Back in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Sonics lead at
Drift pig. Drift pork.
Let's take a look at what's on tap for Miller Genuine Draft to remind you that it's time for a good old macro brew. Detroit's in Seattle on Thursday. There are good seats available for that game, I'm told. Hard to believe because Detroit, obviously potential to be a real rock'em sock'em club, having their tough times though on the West Coast. That'll be on Fox Northwest, by the way. We'll televise it. Seattle's in Utah. We've got that one for you on TV at 6. And then Milwaukee and Seattle on Sunday, November the 16th. Steve Smith is back in the lineup now for Atlanta. The Hawks trail here 36-24. We're in the second period. The shot clock is busted. Here's Gray. Shakes right, cuts left into the lane, switches right to left hand, or left to right hand. He's missing on the hook shot. Ball deflected, grabbed by Anthony. Busts up in the front court. Will hesitate. And roll it outside. Greg Anthony in the lineup with McElvain, who's screening on top. Perkins, Ellis, and Kersey. 10 on the shot clock for Anthony. Nice into the lane. Hands off to Ellis. Leans back, fires, and hits Dale Ellis. Goodness gracious, he is on a tear. He has a half dozen. He's fourth on this team in scoring at just under 13 a game. MJ, the Sonics have at 18 of 28 right now.
Bench for the Sonics. They're doing their job. The Marietta Minute Man, Dale Ellis out there just getting the point a minute. Just knocking down jumpers left and right.
Baseline jumper for Henderson. Hits the side of the glass. Rebound taken by Kersey. Knifes up the middle. Nobody slowed him. Over to Ellis left side. Pull-up jumper away. No. Kersey after it. Mutombo seals him off for the rebound. Mutombo the outlet pass to Steve Smith.
Dale Ellis out of nearby Marietta, Georgia. He's back home. This is where he played his high school ball.
Smith knifes into the lane, but he's forced to pass off to Henderson, who's had some difficulty. He's covered by McElvain outside. Henderson goes baseline. Mack trying to shut him off does. Was Henderson in the act of shooting? Apparently he was.
Yeah, and Jim McElvain has played a good steady 3 or 4 minute stint here. Henderson gets the call from the public address announcer. 10 seconds, knows he's got to make something happen. Once you put it on the floor, you got to keep that right arm off of him. You got to play defense with your feet and with your body.
Jimmy Mack steps out, and the Sonics send in Van Baker. Atlanta will bring the ball inbounds. McElvain with 3 fouls now. Ed Gray will rotate it over to Tyrone Corbin. Corbin looking to go low to Mutombo. McKevy will look over the right shoulder, back to the baseline, and throw up the side-winding hook shot over Perkins.
He's always complained to Kimbe in Denver, mainly that he did not get enough shots, but now he's starting to make those shots to jump hooks down low, so that his teammates have a lot more confidence. They'll give him the basketball.
Sonics lead it here, 38-26. Anthony on the point far side, one-on-one jumper over Gray, ill-advised. He missed it. Mutombo with a rebound.
Bit of rhythm for the Sonics. We talked about it. You're going to get one shot and done because of their defensive rebounding. Atlanta's, you better make sure it's a high-quality shot.
Here's Henderson up fake, drives baseline, shuffle step to the baseline and the glass, and he's fouled by Vin Baker. The act of shooting.
Supersonic Vin Baker, his first.
Yeah, that's a nice little up fake by Allen Henderson out of Indiana University. Does a good job on the penetration. Not a lot of contact by Vin Baker, but give Jerome Kersey again some credit. He came over and swatted that thing away, giving nice defensive weak side help to Vin Baker.
And that is a non-shooting foul, I beg your pardon. The Sonics now shooting 60%, Atlanta 42%. Seattle with 15 assists and Atlanta with 4.
And they got that shooting percentage up to around 70 in the first quarter by moving the ball around to drop to 60, because now they're doing a little bit too much one-on-one, the Sonics, these last 2 or 3 possessions.
Atlanta will bring it inbound, 17 on the shot clock. Steve Smith at the angle, finds Corbin at the top. He'll fire the jumper, miss it. Long rebound gathered in by Vin Baker. He'll go to midcourt with it, shadowed by Mutombo. Vin drifts to the sideline, puts the ball between the wickets, crosses over, lateral step. Mutombo's there, spikes the ball away. Grabbed by Steve Smith at midcourt, on the break, wing left. He's got a man rolling to the glass is Gray. Had to duck under the flying Sonic defenseman and is fouled. Detlef Schrempf with a foul.
You got to put the caboose on Kimbe to neutralize him. Nice move, the crossover. It's sweet, but there's no contact by Vin Baker in terms of putting his body against Dikembe. Dikembe could just jump without any kind of problem whatsoever. The finger wag. I thought that was a taunting foul. They were calling against him once he starts wagging that finger. I guess they felt that was spontaneous that time. But you got to put the body, if you're Vin Baker, that's your biggest weapon, that lower body. Put that against Dikembe, neutralizes jumping ability.
Gray nails both free throws, and the Sonics lead of 14, trimmed to 10 now. Greg Anthony working at the top, swings it to Ellis. He's wide open out of the corner. Great rotation on the ball, the supple flip of the wrist, and Ellis now has a sensational evening going with 8 points. Gray comes the other way. He'll float a long one up there and miss it. Rebound grabbed by Dale Ellis. Here's a lob pass intended for Schrempf in low. Deflected away by Corbin. Grabbed by Henderson. Wheels the ball up the floor to Ed Gray. Gray maneuvering outside the three-point ring, waiting for Mutombo to head up the floor. Dikembe's now down in low. Gray will rotate it at the top. Smith will throw it low to Dikembe. Double teamed. His pass deflected by Perkins. Grabbed by Anthony. Lead pass to Ellis. In full stride, he'll go to the glass and lay it up and in. Ellis with 10 points, 8 in the quarter. And Perkins with a great stop there on Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent of the stop Jerry Stackhouse had against Sam in Philadelphia. Just kind of caught it before Dikembe could elevate. And that's what you call a snuff.
14 points. Sonic lead. Gray drifts at the top. Swings it over to Smith. He'll lob it low with a Dikembe, a determined walk across the paint. He'll hook and score, and he's fouled.
Yeah, he's going to give them the bucket and a free throw. I guess I thought Sam might have hit him before he started into a shooting motion, but no, he got him just as he was able to elevate it. And again, Mutombo is really more efficient on offense. Sam Perkins going to crowd Dikembe. Just kind of snuffed that pass out of his hands right into the hands of Greg Anthony, and then Dale Ellis gets the uncontested layup at the other end. So I guess that was not a that was not a shooting foul. Okay, I thought he did bump him before he started the shooting motion.
Two-shot foul. Mutombo hits the first free throw. And the second. And it makes it a 42-30 Sonic lead of 12. They've led by as many as 14 here in the quarter. Greg Anthony along with Perkins, Schrempf, Ellis, and Baker. Perkins will drive all the way into the lane. Finger roll a shot up. No. The ball flicked outside, grabbed by Blaylock on the fly down the left side of the lane. It's covered by Anthony in the corner, double team. They spot Leitner trailing. He'll feed to Corbin on the right. Rocker steps, nobody open. Dikembe down with the ball, double team by Ellis and Schrempf. Tried to fling it, I think, in low to Leitner, but fronted by Perkins for the steal. Out it comes to Greg Anthony. In the corner to Ellis. The Sonics rotate it to Perkins for a three. He'll snap one off and miss it. The rebound grabbed by Blaylock, tiptoeing the baseline.
Yeah, I thought this was a game Sam might break out. It's still early, but so far the outside shot has not been on for him.
42-30. Smith up fakes, drives baseline, and lays it up and in on Sam Perkins, who got caught in a mismatch.
Yeah, and that's what Steve Smith has got to do. When you see that Sam Perkins not the most fleet-of-foot person in the league defensively, Steve has got to take advantage of his foot speed.
Sonics lead it by 10. Now Anthony will pace the dribble slowly down the near side. Swing it low to Perkins. Sam goes to work on Leitner. Outside to Baker. They rotate it to Anthony. Floats one out of the corner. That one rims. Detlefs after the rebound deflects it out of bounds, and Atlanta will get it. Leitner now is holding the right arm. Flexing the right thumb. He took a pretty good shot in there.
But you know, the Hawks are going to play much better than they have to this point. I mean, they are not 6-0 for no reason. They beat Chicago here in front of 45,000. They went up to Cleveland, beat them in overtime. So, I mean, they are a very sound basketball team that has not played good basketball thus far.
Sonics by 10, and George Karl slowly getting his starters back in as Blaylock short arms a baseline jump shot. Kersey sails over into Leitner in the attempt for the rebound.
I mean, the Sonics have played solid defense. They've got the Hawks shooting about 40%, 12 for 30. But a lot of those 18 misses are like wide open jump shots that the Hawks normally make. And Sonics, you know, you got to keep playing the D, but I just get the feeling that Lenny Wilkins, you know, this is just a very, very good coach basketball team. They're going to start knocking some of those open shots down. And this team shoots, what, 80, almost 81% as a team from the free throw line, and that is just unbelievable.
And they are now starting to get to the line. Atlanta's hit 8 for 9. The Sonics have yet to shoot a free throw. Turnovers have hurt Atlanta. They have 8. The Sonics have just turned it over once. Leitner misses the second free throw. It's a 42-33 contest. Gary backs up. They show double team, Atlanta does. But Payton is able to skip out of it. Gary ends up with the ball on the point at the top. Swing it left side to Kersey. He'll fire from that same spot where he's hit twice before, and this one, same results, nothing but net for Jerome Kersey. He's hit 3 for 3. And the Sonics are up by 11.
41% are going into this game, but he's a kind of a streaky shooter. We saw that in Toronto where he knocked down his first 4 jump shots.
Mutombo, little inside-out action to Leitner. Dikembe will take it back. Doubled on the block to Leitner. Up fakes with 9 with 8 on the shot clock. Leans in on the glove with an off-balance 15-footer that won't go. Mutombo keeps it alive, but ripping down the rebound. Baker stolen from behind by Blaylock. In low to Leitner. Drop step, spin to the hole, reverse it up and in. Nice play from Blaylock and Leitner.
Yeah, but you have to have Mookster awareness. Vin got the rebound. It was a tough manly man rebound, but then he relaxed after he secured it. Mookie made him pay by coming up with the steal.
Sonics by 9. They ISO the left side for Gary. He spins baseline, shut up by Blaylock, who's been on the NBA All Defensive Team, first team, 3 of the last 4 years. They rotate to Kersey. His jumper's in and out. Detlef taps the rebound out, but it's taken in full flight by Corbin, who mishandles the ball. Tapped away from behind by Hawkins is the call by Ed Rush. He waited a little bit too long, but it was a good call nonetheless. Slap from behind by the Hawks.
Number 33, Hersey Hawkins, his second.
44-35 count. Timeout on the floor. The Sonics lead here by 9 in Atlanta in the second quarter. We'll return in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
It's time for the AirTouch Cellular.
Lead the Atlanta Hawks with 2:27 left here in the second quarter play. Mookie Blaylock, great defender for this reason. So shifty, so sneaky.
Yeah, and I said Vin relax. He didn't really relax, but he put it on the floor without having Darren O'Shea, a.k.a. Lookster awareness. And you got to be aware of this guy all the time. Just a great defensive player, all NBA defensive team, you know, just able to anticipate where the ball is going to be dribbled before you put it down. And then he gets there. He's at the spot where you're going to put it down. He comes up with the easy steal.
Tyrone Corbin to the line out of DePaul, 13 years in the NBA.
He was supposed to be the weak link. They were trying to get Rick Fox to come down here, offered him more money than the Lakers gave him. The Lakers gave him that $1 million, I believe, exception. They offered him quite a bit more. And they said that Tyrone, I mean, the media at least, but here he is, 11 points, 5 rebounds a game at your small forward spot. That's not bad production, and he's going to play tough defense and hustle for you also.
Corbin hits the free throw to draw Atlanta within 8 at 44-36. Payton on the point, contemplates, swings it over to Kersey beyond the three-point arc. Jerome is locked up and giving up the dribble. They go to Hawkins. Dribble handoff to the glove. He'll have to go one-on-one with 6 on the shot clock. He'll settle for a 20-footer that rims off into the hands of Mookie Blaylock. Atlanta right now on an 11-6 run here in the quarter. Mutombo lost the handle on the basketball, went off his forehead. He falls to the floor and then is tied up by Vin Baker, but not before 20-second timeout is called by the Atlanta bench. So the Hawks will have possession of the basketball, and they trail here by just 8 points.
I mean, you can't complain about Payton's shooting as we take a look at the overall field goal percentage from the first quarter to the second quarter.
No, Gary's 1 for 5 from the field and has 9 assists.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to point out. I mean, he's getting other guys involved, but as with the last ball game, it was at the last game he had double-digit 12 assists against Philly, I believe, or 14 assists, 16 points, 14 assists. He got people involved with a lot of assists by halftime, then started to get more aggressive with his scoring in the second half.
Single game tickets available. Call Ticketmaster 628-0888. Detroit's in town on Thursday, Milwaukee Monday, or I should say on Sunday. Here's Laettner out on the wing. And Laettner connects on a 15-footer right side. Christian Laettner now with 15 points for the game, and Atlanta in the midst of a 8-2 run.
And Christian Laettner had been the weak link. He'd been the guy not really playing consistently, but he's been able to find the range for his jump shot. He's made some nice moves inside.
Payton on the point, swing it right side to Jerome. Outside, they swing it low to Detlef. He'll back down, turn, and hit a fall-away jumper, and the Sonics needed that one to break a drought.
And why not go to that until they stop that? Detlef has knocked down about 3 of those turnaround, fadeaway baseline jump shots, 2 against Laettner, 1 against Corbin. Keep shooting it.
8-point lead right now for the Sonics. Corbin with it, right wing. In low to Mutombo, backs, turns baseline. The follow-away jumper is good. Dikembe Mutombo loves to back in, peek over the right shoulder, spin back left on that right block. That's where he's hit most of his tonight. He has 10. Payton with the ball high left side. Seattle by 6. Payton, nice drive, sets his feet, but there's Dikembe outside to the Hawk for the 3, rimming off into the hands of Dikembe Mutombo. Atlanta will steer it ahead, trailing by 6. Seattle had a 14-point lead earlier. Laettner now in the corner, in low to Smith, and a whistle.
The Sonics had that 14-point lead, but that's when they were shooting 70%, then 65, 60%, then around 58, 59. Now they're down to 54%. So the shot selection, I mean, outside of Detlef, the Sonics haven't really gotten any quality looks over about the last 4 or 5 possessions, and their shooting percentage reflects that.
Third foul on the Hawk, and George is going to get him here in a moment with Dale Ellis. Steve Smith to the line. 4 years at Michigan State, left his MSU's all-time leading scorer. He was the 5th pick coming out of Michigan State in '91 by Miami.
And you talk about giving back. He gave back $2.5 million to Michigan State in the name of his late mother Clara to build an academic and athletic center on campus at Michigan State. I'd say that's pretty generous given, $2.5 million.
That's right.
Next 46.
He hits both free throws, and it's a 4-point Sonic lead now. Baker, Schrempf, Kersey, and Ellis for Seattle. Peyton Hanlon with the ball on the right-hand side of the arc. Gary a little upset, holds the ball away from the body, swings it over to Ben Baker. Baker backs down on Mutombo, and again the Sonics forced into a one-on-one duel. Here's Baker, backs down Mutombo, little up and under crossover, and he's fouled on the little hook.
And Mutombo is just so tough. I mean, you see Vin Baker trying to use his body. That play didn't go with the quick crossover, sweet small forward type move. Went back to the power game. That's one reason why he was bailed out with that foul call against Dikembe. It looked like a pretty good block as Dikembe held his feet, didn't go for the fake, and got a lot of basketball and maybe some body on the play.
Foul is on Laettner. That is his third. Atlanta right now on a 14-4 run. This is the first free throw attempt by the Sonics this evening, and Baker makes good on it.
Number 25.
David Wingate now will step in for the Sonics along with Aaron Williams.
In for Atlanta, number 22, Ed Gray. Ed Gray.
This lineup on the floor now, they've got, well, actually 6 players. I was going to say they have the Hawks overmatched, and that's why as Dale Ellis comes out. And Wingate's got to play the good defense on Steve Smith and give the Sonics a little shooting if they get the ball back.
Baker misses a free throw, and the carom is deflected outside. Atlanta will control. Mookie with it. Wing left to Laettner. 8 seconds in the half. Swinging right side to Corbin. Back to Laettner. 4 seconds left in the half. Laettner on the drive. Down the left side. Laying up with the left. Off the window. Missed it. Baker grabs the rebound. Swings it the length of the floor. And that will end the half here in Atlanta. Well, the Hawks rally and close to within 5 here at half at 47-42. Sonics by 5 in Atlanta, GA. We'll be back with a recap in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. At halftime, the Sonics 47-42. And it's time for this evening's Sprite halftime highlights. Image is nothing, thirst is everything. Obey your thirst, Sprite.
Sonics started the game off nicely against the Hawks, but you knew the Hawks were too good. We're going to stay down for long, and one of the reasons the Sonics started off so nicely was Smith does a good job working Tyrone Corbin on the left box, gets to the middle, and Della with the degree of difficulty swinging hook in the paint. And for the Hawks, Dikembe Mutombo, you know, you cannot block this shot. You're just not going to get to it. He's 7'2" with the long wingspan, extends the ball high over his head. Sam Perkins, really nothing he can do. You make Dikembe knock that down consistently, and he's done that pretty much so far in this game. And then here's Dikembe going to miss this easy shot inside, and Mookie's there to follow it up. Nobody blocked him out, but you don't really expect Mookie to crash the offensive glass.
Laettner with 15 led Atlanta. Dikembe came up with 10, and Steve Smith held to just 6 points, but a tremendous shooter. He can get into a groove, as the Sonics can attest. He hit 7 threes last year in the 4th quarter in the near catastrophe here in Atlanta. All right, Sonics 10 for Ellis. Home, Kevin Calabro along with Marcus Johnson. And at halftime, the Sonics lead it by a score of 47-42. Let's look at some key stats now, brought to you by Key Bank, key for a new America. Now, the Sonics shoot 54%. Remember, though, they hit 13 of 21, were 62% in the first quarter. They hit 54% to the half. Atlanta 15 of 37, 41%. Atlanta hangs in this thing with the free throws. They had 11 of 14. The Sonics were 1 for 2. The Sonics 18 assists against Atlanta's 6. Peyton had 9 of those 18. Rebounding totals, Atlanta 24, the Sonics 15. But the Sonics had, well, let's see. Atlanta had 5 more offensive rebounds than did the Supersonics. Turnovers, Atlanta 8, the Sonics 2. And bench scoring, 18-5. The Sonics led in that category.
Evander Holyfield just defeated Michael Moore TKO in the 8th round, knocked him down about 5 times in the house.
Looking for a fight against Lennox Lewis that would, if he would win, would unify the belt.
Well, I wonder if Gary's going to talk any trash to Evander. You know, Gary was named one of the top, or the top trash talker in the league, along with Steve Smith in Sports Illustrated. Did you see that, Kevin?
I did not.
Yeah, and also in Sports Illustrated, though, was a more immediate concern.
No.
This guy right here, named by NBA people as the top play-by-play guy in the league.
Wow.
Kevin Calabro got the fastest talker. They said that he doesn't take a breath until the second quarter. He got the water, went to a microphone. Now, I would have voted for Chick Hearn, but he called me Malcolm the last time we were in L.A., so I voted for you.
Malcolm.
No, I'm just kidding. Chick has a tendency to get names confused.
All right, Malcolm.
But congratulations to Kevin Calabro, featured in Sports Illustrated.
It's very nice.
The #1 guy in the league.
Very nice of you, Marcus. Thank you, Malcolm. Sonics set up with Aaron Williams in the lineup now. 7 on the shot clock. Hawkins with it. Crossover. Takes Leitner deep. Hook pass out to Baker for the long J. Swish. Swisher sweet for Baker. He has 9 points. What a beauty.
Yeah, that's a nice play. Hersey, it's usually Gary with the draw and kick, the penetrating kick. That time it was Hersey Hawkins. And if Vin Baker can knock down some outside shots, he can get his game on track. He'll make Dikembe Mutombo have to respect it.
49-42 Seattle. Leitner with the ball in the key. Jump pass over to Corbin in the corner. Mutombo fronted by Williams. They deny that avenue. Corbin wants to go back to him, though. They swing it that way, and it pays off with Mutombo spinning in low for an 8-foot follow-away jumper. He has 12.
Boy, and he's 5 for 9, and it has just looked good on his follow-through, on his shot attempts down on the box.
Seattle by 5. Peyton doubled outside to Vin Baker. Vin back to Gary. Posted on Mookie. Nice shovel handoff. Aaron Williams to the glass. Got airborne. The ball ripped out of his hands. Here comes Atlanta with a lead pass over the top of the defense to Smith for the land.
Aaron Smith, though, Aaron Williams, I thought might have hesitated a bit. Maybe it was the foul that made it appear that he hesitated, but he just got to go up there with the idea that he's going to pack it. I guarantee you he'll get the foul if he goes up more aggressively.
3-point lead. Peyton off the Williams screen. Tosses outside. Now Vin Baker with it. Wing left over to Detlef. Detlef wants a screen with 10 on the shot clock. Working with a dribble. Fake to the baseline. The follow-away jumper is good. Detlef knew it as soon as it left his hands. He has 12.
Yeah, and that was a good decision making by Detlef with the shot clock winding down. No need to go into Vin Baker on the mismatch because Atlanta would just double team anyway. Detlef got a nice shot by the step-away jump shot.
Steve Smith at the center of the floor turns the corner off a Leitner screen. Leitner steps out, gives back to Smith. Rejected inside by Aaron Williams. Tapped outside to Detlef. Skips ahead, clearing midcourt as Peyton into the lane. Follow-away Baker is good for the glove. What a shot.
Yeah, you know, put the distribution on hold if you're Gary Payton. Look to score the basketball. Your team needs it. Their shooting percentage has steadily decreased since the first quarter.
Peyton 2 for 6, but the 9 assists. Seattle leading 53-46. Down low. Mutombo doubled outside to Mookie for the long tray. He nailed it.
Now you can see George Karl, he did not double Dikembe in the first half. He doubled him right away. That possession and left Mookie wide open for the jump shot.
3-pointer for Mookie. 53-49 score. Peyton will toss overhead to Williams. Shrimp, drop it low to Baker. Baker right block. Back to the basket. Mutombo digs in to make his attack. Here is Baker with a fall-away jumper, rimming around and falling in.
Yeah.
Baker with 11.
Yeah, nice play by Vin. He moved the big guy. When you make a big guy move defensively, it's very tough when you have size 22 feet, as Dikembe does, to gather those big old, whatever, boats up and try and block a shot.
In low now, Dikembe goes to work, looks over left shoulder. Drop steps, fakes baseline, spins back middle. The hook is an air ball. It's ripped away from Baker by the hustling Corbin, saved in bounds, but right to Peyton. Up the floor to Hawkins, strolls into a 3 and plants it. Nothing but net for the Hawk. He has 11 points and has hit 3 threes. And Lenny Wilkins calls a timeout. The Sonics beating the Hawks now in transition and have a 9-point lead to show for it. 22nd timeout called by Atlanta.
We talked about that in our keys. You got to look to get some easy buckets in transition. No easier shot than a wide open Hawk who's hot in this ball game, hot from the outside. You get it up to him early, and it's Hawk time against the Hawks.
Presented by Sprite tonight at Customer Corner.
And then Aaron Williams getting involved defensively. George kind of mad at Aaron the last game, thought he was a little soft, wasn't making enough happen in the paint. Well, that's making stuff happen in the paint. That's the Dutch boy in the paint right there, as he does a great job with the block that ignites the fast break that leads to, again, another transition bucket. Gary Payton, the little fallback banker. And Aaron Williams started that play off with a nice defensive block inside. The Sonics need more of the same.
In the quarter, the Sonics have hit 5 of 6. Atlanta's hit 3 of 5. Leitner with the ball at the top. Hands up to Mookie Blaylock. Near angle. Covered by the Hawk. Swings a bullet pass across the top of the arc over to Steve Smith. He'll fire the three with Dillon running at him. Got it. Steve Smith with 11, his first tray of the ball game.
A jump shot that is a beauty to behold. Set him up with a little hit step like Walter Payton would do when he's running the football. Got Dillon on his heels, just pull up in his face. Steve Smith did.
58-52. Payton on the block. Back, swirls, follow-away jumper, rimming, rebound, tapped outside by Baker. Grabbed by the Hawk. Hawk slants in on Smith, finds Baker stepping out for the long jumper, splays his legs and drills a 17-footer over the oncoming Dikembe. 13 for the bake.
He likes that scissor kick. I mean, I think that helps him gain his balance in the air. Just a real live scissor kick to get himself together.
8-point lead. Smith drives in double. Dish outside to Blaylock. Back down low to Smitty. Rolls to the baseline and stepped out of bounds. Steve Smith. And it was the Hawk and Baker that had the end line bottled up.
And like Richard Gere in An Offer, gentlemen, he had nowhere to go. Had nowhere to go. Dribbles out of bounds. Basketball to the Sonics. Good defense by the Supersonics.
Sonics by 8. Shrub with it. Far sideline. Dumps it in the corner to the glove. That little screen down. Gary will roll off the pick. Set his feet in the lane. Lost the handle, but the ball ripped out by Blaylock. The foul on Mookie for reaching in.
Now, this is the kind of energy you got to come with in the second half if you want to win this basketball game against, again, one of the best teams in the league right now, the Atlanta Hawks at 6-0. The Sonics are coming out at both ends, energized defensively. They're attacking offensively. They're focused. They're knocking down those open shots that they missed in the second quarter.
And with any luck, they can get to the free throw line. That's part of the aggression Marcus alluded to. The last season against Atlanta, Gary had some very big numbers. The free throw by Payton is up and in. He has a half dozen.
You see they're attacking Mookie Blaylock in the backcourt with Williams and Payton trying to make him give the basketball up, trying to waste some time off the shot clock.
Sonics lead by 10. Atlanta rotates it low to Mutombo. Recovering in time is Williams out to Corbin. Steps into the jumper and nails it. Corbin with 5.
I mean, Tyrone Corbin, the weak link, all he's done is knock down 47% of his shots, average about 11 points a game, 5 rebounds a game.
Atlanta now 20 of 44, 45%. The Sonics, by contrast, 28 of 49, 57% from the field. Payton toying with the ball outside, steps beyond the three-point arc and fires an air ball that Atlanta will let drift out of bounds, and the Hawks will take it.
I mean, if you're Corbin, you're the weak link. I mean, you as a team, you got a pretty strong chain because he's not a bad weak link to have.
6:56 left here in this third period of play. The Sonics lead the Hawks 62-54. There's a timeout on the floor from Atlanta on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Four Sonics lead the Hawks. 6:56 left here in the third quarter of play. Our marquee matchup tonight featured Vin Baker and Dikembe Mutombo, and thus far Mutombo with 7 boards, Baker 4. Vinny has outscored Dikembe 13-12.
Vin is starting to light up here in the second half. As Mutombo did a pretty good defensive job against him, but I think Vin, being the player that he is, can figure out Mutombo what he can do against him.
8-point Sonic lead. 6:45 left third quarter. Dikembe backs in, spins by the lunging Williams, plants and jams.
And you can blame Aaron Williams all you want, but Williams is 6'9", about 225. Dikembe has the strength advantage inside against him when he wants to just plow inside against him.
6-point lead. Can't reach in though if you're Aaron. You got to play position.
And you can't allow him to go baseline. Your help is coming down from the top. So that was the one thing that George Karl was a little bit upset about, him reaching in.
Shrimp swings it outside of Payton. Mishandled the ball, got it back, feeds to Baker. That long jumper is again short. Rebound to Corbin. The Sonics have fired up a couple of air balls here in the last minute. And their lead now is at 6. With 6:07 remaining in the third. McIlvain is up off the Sonic bench. The Sonic bench outscored Atlanta's bench 18-2 in the first half. We have an offensive foul now called. And this one will be on Christian Laettner for an illegal screen.
And that's his 4th foul, Laettner, and that's one thing Lenny Wilkens was upset about, that he's picking up the cheapies. Now, he got away with the first moving screen. The second one, Roshan Michel, right on top of the play, and calls him for the foul. Good offense by the Hawks, and you're going to see Laettner screen one time. Here's the second one, moving in, little knee action against Hersey Hawkins, and you can't do that.
Seattle goes to work, double screen low. Hawkins steps out. They feed in it, in low to Baker in the paint. He'll turn. The follow-away jumper is good for Vin Baker. What an adjustment he made there.
Well,
falling away.
You got to figure him out. Figure out Mutombo. You can't go to the hoop or to the rack and try and shoot over him. He's going to block that. You get him moving in the middle of the paint. He's got his hands down every time. He's not put his hands up to bother one Vin Baker medium-range jump shot.
Vin has 15. He's hit 7 for 11. Mookie tries to lob low to Mutombo. The entry pass is tapped away by Payton out of bounds. Here's another way you stop Mutombo. You pressure the pass from the point. Here's Henderson now coming in for
But
Atlanta, and Leitner rotates out with 4 fouls.
and on defense, Mutombo, it just seems to be one of those centers that doesn't slide defensively with his hands up. He slides with his hands down by his knees.
Smith fires from the key and drains a jump shot. Smitty with 13.
Now he is starting to heat up, so you got to be aware of Steve Smith. We saw him last year at the Omni just go crazy against the Sonics in the fourth quarter.
6-point Sonic lead, 64-58. Jump pass Payton to McIlvain. He tried to nurse in a hook. Mutombo blocks it away, leading to a break. Long lob pass up to Blaylock. The feed to the trailer is Henderson. He juggled the ball.
And so Gary Payton gets credit. He hustled back on defense, didn't allow the wide open layup.
Baker ends up shooting the long jumper, missed it, but follows his own miss.
And that's the gamble Lenny's taken, that Vin Baker cannot knock down that 17, 18-foot shot with consistency.
Trip backs in, turns, finds McIlvain across the middle, double up fake. Mutombo blocks another one. Baker, one dribble, he'll take his own man in deep. And what do we have? 3 seconds in the lane?
Offensive foul, Vin Baker. They're going to say he cleared out a little too aggressively once he got the offensive rebound. But it's tough to put Jim McIlvain in this position. I mean, you know, under the basket against Dikembe, this is what's going to happen. The block more times than not. And then Baker's going to jam into, who was that? Mookie Blaylock trying to create some space. 4th foul on Vin.
Well, they actually called it on McIlvain.
Did they?
Yep, that's the 4th foul on McIlvain. Here's a lob pass to the weak side. Henderson driving into the lane. Detlef blocks the shot and then goes into some hysterics here in front of the Sonic bench. And a goaltend, I believe, is going to be called. No, just a foul and then a technical foul.
And Detlef upset on the play, and just a little too animated for Ed F. Rush's liking. Looked like a pretty good block. Just going to run. Tried to run away and not show the emotion. He tried to hide the emotion by turning the face away from the court. That was a weird tech. And then Den's trying to talk to Ed F. Rush. Said, look, I didn't want to get up in your face and talk about you. I just ran away from you, and you still call a tech on you. You can't win for losing, Ed F.
Detlef gets the technical foul.
For F. Ed, whatever.
Gets the personal foul. That is his 3rd. And Smith hits the first of 3 free throws and the second of 3. I'm sorry, Henderson now to the line. He hits the first of the 2.
Alan Henderson, I saw him as a high school senior play against the big dog in the Indiana State Championship. He wants to be a doctor, going to go to med school after his career is over. His dad is a cardiologist.
Second by Allen is off the mark. The Sonics clear the rebound. They lead by 4, 64-60. Detlef with the ball, backs down to Steve Smith. Swings a fall-away jumper up. No. Rebound deflected right into Detlef's hands. He'll take it up on Mutombo block. Grabbed by Baker. Tapped away, but Gary recovers it at the top of the key. Payton down the left side. He'll arc a high banker over Mutombo that won't go. And a loose ball foul is going to be called. And this is on Seattle.
McIlvain over the back going for the offensive rebound. You don't mind that so much because he's playing aggressive inside trying to get second shots. But look at Dikembe. That's why he's averaging about 5 blocks a game. He has just covered the cup against the Sonics today.
He did, and then he backed off when Payton drove in at him. And Gary trying to adjust. Might have missed the lay-in, the lefty, because of it.
Oh, did miss it because of it. He had to shoot the high archer over Mutombo, and Mutombo wasn't there.
Smith to the baseline. His cast falling away is good. Steve Smith now has 16. He has scored 10 here in the quarter. The Sonics, meantime, have gone stone cold. They've hit 1 of their last 9, and their lead is trimmed to 2.
We ain't talking about a picnic either. It's been no picnic. It's been Dikembe.
Well, they better hurry on down. Here's Shrimp on the baseline. Out on top to Payton. Fakes right. Goes right. Into the lane. Running right-hander. Swirls the iron and then pops in. That one traveled 360 degrees around the rim and rolled in. He has 8 points. Back come the Atlanta Hawks. Gary fell down. Is still down. Now being helped up. Corbin hits a jumper on the far sideline, falling away.
Steve Smith hit him with a blind Smith. I think Gary was trying to draw a foul against Smith on that possession. Smith hit him with a pretty hard pick, but Payton a lot of acting on that play.
66-64, 2-point Sonic lead. Gary on the point handles. 2:47 left in the 3rd. Payton to Hawks, swivels, fires, missed it. Rebound. Who's going to get it? Alan Henderson. Loops it ahead of Mookie Blaylock. Mookie cross court. Steve Smith for the 3. Yes. There's what we're talking about. Smith right now in a groove. 13 of his 19 in the quarter. He's hit 2 threes. It is the first lead that Atlanta has held. And Steve Smith is on an absolute roll right now. We'll be back after the timeout to Atlanta on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. The Hawks take their first lead of the game, 67-66 here in the third quarter, and Steve Smith has gotten hot, Marcus.
Yeah, he has, and a nice pick by Dikembe to just wipe out Hersey Hawkins. That's Cord. And then a little hitch kick to Walter Payton. Hitch going to freeze Detlef. Watch him get Detlef on his heels. Hitch, jumper, facial.
Smith has hit 5 of 6 from the field here in the quarter, including 2 3-pointers. And he has popped in 13 of his 19 to give Atlanta the 1-point lead. Schrempf now handles for the Sonics. And Payton working outside. The Sonics 8 of 19 in the quarter. Atlanta 10 to 13 from the field. Payton mishandling the ball will get the handle back. Works it in with 3 on the shot clock and a whistle. Illegal defense is called on Atlanta.
That's a bailout call for Gary. He was down to about 3 seconds and his back on Tyrone Corbin. And pretty much was going to have to take a difficult kind of fadeaway jumper probably to the corner because Corbin was not allowed in the middle. But the Hawks were guilty of the illegal D. Sonics fresh clock on the play.
1-point Atlanta lead. Baker comes over to the bench. Kersey's in now for Seattle. Payton turns the corner on a Schrempf screen, goes to the baseline, finds Ellis, steps out to the baseline, shoots and scores. Dale Ellis picks up where he left off in the second quarter, hitting jumpers. He has 12 for the game.
I mean, you penetrate baseline. Ellis floats to the baseline where the opening is. He pretty much guarantees you an assist when he's wide open like that.
68-67. The Sonics have the lead back with 1:47 left here in the third quarter. Atlanta's hit just 7 of their last 8, that's all, to get back into this thing, to rally from a 14-point deficit in the second quarter, taking the first lead just a moment ago.
But that's not all bad news, and the reason being is still a couple of minutes to play in the third quarter. They're playing their best basketball here in the third. The Sonics still have time to regroup and play some good basketball themselves in the fourth quarter.
Foul called on Kersey a moment ago. His second. Atlanta will bring it in bounds. Mookie orchestrates the offense. They go low to Dikembe. Double teamed on the block. Out to Corbin. To Blaylock, over to Smith, up fakes, leans. The ball blocked away by Payton, grabbed by Corbin. His jumper is off the mark from the wing. Rebound to Kersey, fires it up the floor. Gary streaks away to the glass and lays it up and in.
Great vision by Jerome.
Now the Sonics are going to hustle back. Kersey runs at Smith. He jump passes to Blaylock for a 3. In and out. Rebound hauled down by Kersey, who was held by Steve Smith, and the loose ball foul is on Smitty.
And that's a pretty rushed possession shot-wise for the Hawks with 1:06 left in the third quarter. Smith passes up the shot. Mookie going to take the long jumper. He was open. And then Kersey just hustling, just, has that great nose for the basketball. Comes up with the rebound and the foul against Steve Smith.
Sonics lead by 3, 70-67. The Glove will bring it out of backcourt. Payton tonight has picked up 10 points and 11 assists. Detlef with a basketball, fakes left, cuts right into the lane, blocked outside, and a foul called on Chuck Brown.
Yeah, Chucky Brown just checking into the game, and he's cold, been on the bench a long time in this half. Detlef, you got to make Brown pay for those cold legs. Take him. Didn't hesitate, just took him right to the middle. Brown had no choice but to try and hold him up with the arms. As Daryl Garrettson told us at halftime, that's a foul.
Seattle's lead is 3. Schrempf heads to the line and sinks the free throw. Detlef had 8 first quarter points. Sunday at Philly at 17, 6 boards, 6 assists, was 9 of 10 from the free throw line.
Detlef doing an outstanding job rebounding. He and Vin Baker tied for the rebounding lead in the Sonics, 7.5 apiece per game coming into this game. So as a small forward, he is rebounding the basketball extremely well.
Detlef hits both free throws. The Sonics lead is at 72-67. Here's a pass to the top. Brown double teamed by Payton, and Kersey reaching in as Payton, and a foul's going to be called on Gary Payton. That will be the first on Gary Payton.
Ken Maurer with the call, and usually Gary, the Glove, is allowed to get away with some contact, a little flesh under the fingernails on a play like that. And Maurer was a bit out of position half court toward the benches of the coaches. Benches.
Chucky Brown from North Carolina State, now in his 9th year.
He's one of the guys they talk about that has given his team greater depth on the bench, but you look at his numbers, 3 points a game, and the minutes that he's playing this year. I mean, they're still playing their big guys, their big 3, a lot of minutes. Smith 42 minutes, Blaylock 44 minutes, Dikembe 38 minutes. That doesn't, to me, show a lot of confidence in your bench.
Brown's second free throw is up and in. Atlanta has scored the Sonics at the line 15-5.
And your weak link, Tyrone Corbin, supposedly your weak link is playing 35 minutes a game.
72-69 the score. The Sonics by 3 with 36 seconds left. Payton with the basketball, left-hand side of the key. We're in the third quarter. Payton skips over to Perkins. Dribble handoff to the glove. Into the corner he drifts. Jump passes out on top to Sam. Drives in off balance. Flings a lefty runner up. No. Gary grabs the rebound. Looks at the clock. 20 showing. 20 seconds showing here in the third. And Payton is content now just to dribble it down here between the rings. He'll spread the floor with wings right and wings left. 9 seconds. Gary approaches the right-hand portion of the arc. Dribbling laterally now with 5. Over to Kersey. Turns with 4. Rifles up the jumper with 2. Missed it. Rebound grabbed by Corbin. He'll fling it the length of the floor. And that one hit the glass. That will end the third quarter. The Sonics hang to a 3-point lead. 72-69 in Atlanta. Will return on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Well, let's check the NBA scoreboard, brought to you by Miller's Genuine Draft, to remind you that it's time for a good old-fashioned macro brew. New York leads Denver by 1 in the third quarter of play. Sacramento trailing Miami 71-55 in the third. Cleveland has a 67-46 lead with about 3 minutes to go in the third on Chicago. Minnesota leads San Antonio by 7. The Atlanta Hawks will bring it in bounds to start the fourth quarter, and the net, the mesh is wrapped up around the rim. Nobody noticed.
And Steve Smith tried to point it out to Roshan Michel, but he's like, hey, you started the possession, get it down with a jumper.
Smith drives into the lane over to Chucky Brown. Missed the left-handed lay-in. The rebound scramble on the baseline, saved by Schrempf. The ball was tapped, and Brown sitting on the baseline. Had the ball actually come to him, and Seattle now will take possession of the ball. 72-69, Sonics by 3 from the massive, the cavernous Georgia Dome.
And this is the perfect time to try and get something inside. Why? Dikembe Mutombo is on the bench. So is Christian Laettner. You got to attack the rack. There's rack goal at the rack.
Sonics with Ellis coming off a screen from Schrempf. Running his man through a labyrinth of picks. Payton at the point, swings it in the corner to Jerome Kersey. Rome down low to Detlef, tripped up by Smith, and a foul called on Steve Smith.
Fouls on Steve Smith, his second.
Looking to get Dale Ellis off of a screen.
Seattle ball.
Is Smith going to pull Detlef, pull his body from behind, get the foul call, but you got to go inside. I mean, again, you don't have the shot blocker in there. Dikembe, who's been just covering the rack. You can attack the rim with some aggressiveness.
Sonics by 3. Ellis on the wing, drops the handle on the ball. Trying to get it low to Perkins, deflected by Smith, grabbed by Allen Henderson. Henderson up into the lane to the glass, powers to the hole, missed it. The follow, Tyrone Corbin.
That's
right there.
That's why Corbin is a valuable player. Just the garbage guy, the blue collar guy, going to get in there, just follow. Most guys would give up, not hustle on that play. He hustled all the way down.
Payton feeds low to Sam Perkins, looking over the right shoulder, backing down on Henderson, gives him the shoulder, does the little up and under banker that's good for 2.
I mean, you go to that until they stop it. Henderson is a young player. Sam Perkins, the wily, cagey old vet, has a decided advantage, especially with no weak side shot blocking help.
74-71, Sonics have the lead. Corbin outside, beyond the three-point ring, is shadowed by Kersey. He'll toss it on top. Steve Smith will take it. Smith covered by Ellis. Smith with one dribble and up, pumps a 3, rattling in and out. Detlef falls down the rebound, bows his back, slumps to the floor, tripped up. He'll hand off to Kersey. Out of backcourt comes Payton. He'll jump stop, wait for Detlef, who's slow in getting down the floor. Now he's in the flow. Payton will give it to Sam, into the lane, across the middle. He'll lay it up and in with the left hand. A tremendous hook. 5, big smooth.
And go to him and hope that play is not stopped, so Dikembe, who is at the scorer's table, will have to remain out of the ball game.
Seattle by 5. Ben Baker's over there as well for the Sonics. Seattle holding a 5-point lead. 9:49 to play here in the fourth quarter. Corbin swings it wing right to Smith. Back out on top it comes to Mookie Blaylock. He's shouted out there by Payton. Crossover left to right into the lane to the glass. Shot blocked by Detlef outside to Payton. 3 on 2. Looking left, feeding right over to Kersey. One dribble to the glass. The finger roll is off the mark. Smith with a rebound, deflected out of his hands by Kersey. It rolls out of bounds. It will be Atlanta possession.
I mean, I thought Gary might have given him that just a little early. No excuse for Jerome missing that layup. He was a little off balance when he released it. But he had to put it on the floor. I think that threw him off a little bit. If he could have just gotten right into a 1-2 stride, he might have had a better chance of making it. But again, it's a layup. You should make those.
5-point lead for the Sonics. Gary now will depart, and in will come Anthony. The Hawks have 6 blocks. Sonics with 3. Atlanta sets up on the wing. Mookie Blaylock, 1-on-1, and a whistle.
Foul number 7, Sonic. Jerome Kersey.
Jerome Kersey, the block, trying to impede the progress of one of the Hawk shooters coming off the baseline screens.
76-71, Sonics lead. Dikembe in the lineup now, extends that long frame to get the ball at midcourt. Dikembe 7'2", 261. Will wheel it left side. Nice entry pass to Henderson. The shot rejected by Baker in the lane. Saved in the corner, but right to the man beneath the rim. Winding up with the reverse is Henderson to lay it in.
Well, now, Greg Anthony, if you cannot save it and throw it down court or spot a teammate, don't save it at all. You do not want to save the basketball under the opposition's basket.
76-73, the Sonics have the lead. 8:49 remaining here in the fourth period. Greg Anthony on the point, spots Perkins coming across the middle again. He sneaks under Mutombo and lays it in.
Sneak is the right word. Mutombo was all over that trying to get his sixth block, but Sam, the wily, the KGO vet, able to get the shot up and in.
5-point lead. Sonics aware of Smith. He lobs it cross court over a double team to Allen Henderson. Henderson with his back to the basket. Loops it to the point. Blaylock with it. 10 on the shot clock. Anthony picks up Mookie. Mookie slides it over to Leitner. Jab step. Recoils. Fires a jumper. Hit the side of the glass. Leitner got it back. Fires. Missed it again. Ellis with a rebound. Two bad bricks up there.
Wow.
Ellis will pull up in the flow for a three. That one rimming. Rebound to Dikembe. Tapped away. Sam flat-footed over the fallen body. Missed the shot. It's tapped outside. Mookie shovels to Smith. Looking to pack it. He's fouled. Actually, it was Henderson driving down into the lane.
Yeah, and, you know, they both have the same kind of body size with the long arms, the same kind of peanut-shaped head with the fade haircut. As he takes it strong, Henderson, Dale Ellis all over that right arm. But, I mean, Sam Perkins had just a point-blank layup. The only problem was he had a hawk at his feet, so he couldn't really jump. Jerome Kersey off the pass from Payton blew the layup. I mean, those are the kind of things that hurt you if you wind up losing this game by a point or two.
Allen Henderson with a free throw up and in out of Rebuff High School in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now his third year.
Stayed in Atlanta all summer. Worked with the conditioning coach, lifting weights, working on his offense.
Missed the second free throw, but Leitner's there to flick it outside. Grabbed by Ed Gray. Atlanta will set up. Trailing by 4, the Hawks have possession, down 78-74. Gray drives baseline. Ed with a shuffle step to the middle. Had the ball ripped out of his hands, but Mutombo grabbed it, went airborne over the fallen body of Gray. Is tripped up, and a foul is going to be called on the Sonics. Jerome Kersey.
Ed Gray goes strong to the rack, and the Sonics knock him down strong to the floor. And Sam Perkins right there catches him off balance with his hip. And there's Jerome all over the arms of Dikembe, who is a 85% free throw shooter coming into this game, which is outstanding.
But he missed that one. Atlanta from the line this evening has hit 16 of 22 free throws, and the Sonics have hit just 5 of 6. So Atlanta has hung in there from the free throw line, and because of their superior rebounding numbers. Mutombo with 15, hitting the second of 2, and that draws Atlanta within 3 at 78-75. Greg Anthony working across midcourt with 7.5 minutes remaining. We'll give it over to Ellis beyond the three-point arc right side. He rotated to the middle, now to the side where Kersey awaits. He'll skip it low to Baker. Vinny backs down double. Outside to Anthony. In low to Vin. Turns. Follow-away jumper's good. Vin Baker with 17 points on a follow-away beauty.
And again, Dikembe Mutombo does not extend the arms on that jump shot by Vin Baker. I don't know if it's the scissor kick that's giving Vin more room to shoot the ball, or if that's just a bad habit by Dikembe.
80-75. Blaylock with the ball on the point to Leitner at the top of the key. They'll swing it to Gray for the 3. Partially deflected. Came down short. Kersey had a hand on it. Ellis will grab it. Kersey with another fine defensive play. Scampering out on Gray to deflect the shot short. Seattle now with a 5-point lead. Anthony will set up the offense. Looking low for Baker. Vin's pushed out about 15 feet from the hole. Goes one-on-one to Dikembe. Draws him out. That leaves a space for Anthony in low. Little jump hook for Greg. Up and in.
Yeah.
Caught the back of the rim and settled into the nest.
Nice pass. You usually don't want to give it to a guard down that low, but Anthony has shown the ability to knock down some tough shots inside.
Sonics by 7. They lead it 82-75. With 6:32 left in the game, we'll take a timeout. Return in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Lead Atlanta by a score of 82-75 with 6.5 minutes remaining to play in the game. The Sonics bring out Vin Baker, Sam Perkins, Kersey, Ellis, and Anthony.
Yeah.
With Blaylock and Gray, the backcourt now for Atlanta.
And Gary Payton's getting some valuable rest as Greg Anthony's on the floor for extended minutes in the fourth quarter, something that we rarely see. Gary Payton on the bench at this time of the game.
Henderson inside, reverse pivot. The lean-in jumper won't go. Dikembe keeps the ball alive. Henderson picks it up, leans to the hole, powers it up, missed the shot. But through the foul, Alan Henderson. A little upset at himself. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
But now is when you need some like gang tackling, gang rebounding for the Sonics inside, because the Hawks are awful long. Look, they've got Alan Henderson, 6'9", who comes up with the offensive rebound, draws the foul. Christian Laettner, about 6'9", 6'10". Dikembe, 7'2".
Shooting 2.
So you need Anthony, Greg Anthony, you need Dale Ellis, everybody back in there to help secure the rebound.
Henderson strokes in the free throw. He teamed with Greg Graham and with Calvert Chaney in his days at Indiana University as the glove rests on the Sonic bench. Seattle's lead now is at 6. We have 6:13 to play. Henderson's second one is up and in.
Gary should have a lot in the tank left over when he does re-enter the ball game. He can prove to be, as he normally does, a big key down the stretch for the Sonics.
Anthony now must set the floor. He skips outside off the Kersey screen. Waits as Kersey comes back to screen. Anthony swings it over to Ellis. He'll raise with a 3, and he nailed it. Dale Ellis with a 3-pointer on the far side. That is our Sonics Horizon Air instant replay. Listen tomorrow morning at 6:45 in the morning to Mitch in the morning with your chance to win valuable meats and cheeses. Here's Smith with the ball outside the 3-point arc. Drops it in low. On the block is Henderson. Swings it to Smith, and he threw the ball in the lane and right into the hands of Jerome Kersey.
I mean, you'd almost be tempted to leave this group in here. They're playing good defense and knocking down shots at the other end.
Sonics by 8 across the middle. Baker turns in the lane and is fouled. Nope.
No.
What do we have? Offensive
He slapped
foul.
the hand of Christian Laettner away. Talk about your ticky-tack calls by Rashawn Michel. Just a tough call in this kind of a situation. I mean, we're so far down from the other end. I didn't really see the slap, but I don't know. That's a tough call against Vin.
Sonics lead is 8 at 85-77 with 5:25 remaining in the ball game. And now here is Steve Smith with it. Smith at the top of the key, challenged by Ellis, who's done a pretty nice defensive job on Smith. Kersey has as well. They funnel Smith to Kersey in low. Smith will get rid of it to Laettner. Tosses across the key to Gray. Blasts into the lane. Sets his feet. Off balance runner will not go. But he did a great job of protecting the ball with the body and drawing the foul. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that left arm he used to ward off the defender. But George Karl saying that it was just a difficult shot. You know, no way the rookie's going to get that shot. The fall didn't come close on it. But yet Ed F. Gray bails out
Ed Gray shoots 2.
Ed Gray on the play. Ed Gray started out at the University of Tennessee as he misses the first free throw. But at Riverside North High School, I mean, this cousin of Keyshawn Johnson was an all-state wide receiver who would be in the NFL himself right now if he weren't such an outstanding basketball player. Nice to have options.
Yeah, absolutely. Gray drills the second free throw, and the Sonics lead now is at 7. 85-78 score. With 4:58 remaining in the game, Payton will bring it across midcourt. Payton at the center, spins on Smith, hard chest pass to Detlef, turns, rifles up the jumper, didn't have a chance. The ball deflected by Kersey, but into the hands of Ed Gray. Atlanta will steer it ahead. Here comes Steve Smith.
When you got Dale Ellis on the floor against the rookie Ed Gray, get him the basketball.
Double team to Smith, rotates outside to Laettner, to the open man. It's Gray for 3, rimming, and finally settling down into the hands of Smith, who rotates out to the baseline, spots Gray driving to the glass. He lays it in with the left hand.
Yeah, that's just the bounce of the basketball. It bounced around enough so that Dikembe and Steve Smith could improve their positions. Dikembe tapped it out. Smith secured it. Ed Gray finished it.
5-point lead now for the Sonics. Time running down. 4 minutes left in the ball game. Payton out to the sideline. Hits Detlef coming across the middle. Shovels up a shot. Is hammered hard. Just trying to reverse it up with the right hand. He knew he was going to take a look, and Alan Henderson nailed him from behind.
A nice play by Detlef, cutting from the weak side to the strong side, helping Gary Payton out by moving without the basketball. A lot of contact inside as Hersey Hawkins is set to check in, probably for Dale Ellis.
Now Detlef Schrempf will step up to the line for 2 very important free throws, and the Sonic free throws have been few and far between. They've attempted 6 and have hit 5. Atlanta is 20 of 27, and Schrempf knocks the first one in. He has 15.
Now Hawk in for Ellis. That means Hawk has got to get that jumper that he knocked down early in the game when he was 4 for 5 from the outside in the first quarter. Continue to shoot it with confidence, because he's going to get some opportunities here down the stretch with the concentration inside by the Atlanta Hawks defensively.
Detlef with his second free throw up and in. Schrempf with 16 points, and the Sonics now have a 7-point lead, 87-80. 4:05 remaining in the ball game. Smith will bring it across midcourt, drifting up in the front court left, challenged by Payton. He looks at a double team and gets rid of it to Ed Gray. Gray lobs low to Laettner, double team, trying to squeeze to the baseline between Schrempf and Kersey. Is tripped up, and the foul down low is going to be called on the Sonics. Jerome Kersey.
You have Christian Laettner sandwiched that low on the baseline. You know, it's easy to say don't foul him in that situation. Jerome just aggressively going at the basketball. Looked like Laettner just kind of lost his footing. Jerome was reaching up high. It didn't look like a lot of contact, and Laettner was tripped down low.
Fifth foul on Jerome. And Laettner scores his first bucket, or first point, of the second half. He had 15 in the first half, 10 in the first quarter. Second free throw up and rolls in. Atlanta hanging in there at the line where they have outscored the Sonics 22-7. It's an 87-82 score. Sonics by 5. 3:43 left in this game. Payton with the ball right side of the key, skips over to the Hawk, back outside to the glove. 10 on the shot clock. Payton trying to turn the corner on Laettner. Laettner continuing. Gary goes middle, running right-hander, up and off the back rim. Baker with a rebound. Wheels it back outside smartly. With 20 on the shot clock, 3:25 to play. The Sonics have a 5-point lead in possession once again.
Credit Dikembe, his presence. Gary had to fan away from the basket because he did not want Dikembe to block that shot.
10 on the shot clock for the glove over to Detlef. Turns the corner right side, locks it to Baker in the lane, back outside to the Hawk for a three that is in and out. Rebound to Laettner. Long pass up the floor to Steve Smith. To the glass, double team, over to Gray. He'll lay it in. Ed Gray is fouled by the glove, and he will go to the line.
Man, talk about a game of inches.
Yep.
Hersey Hawkins' jumper missed by just inches. I mean, it was right on line, in and out, heartbreaker for him. And then the pass, the long feed down court to Steve Smith was just right over his head. You know, you can't fault the Hawk for either one of those plays.
And then they lock up Smith, who finds Gray trailing on the play for the deuce. He'll shoot a free throw when we come back. Sonics by 3 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. By Budget Rent-A-Car, get out of the ordinary. 87-84 is our score. The Sonics lead with 3 minutes remaining in the game. The Sonics in the first half shot 54%. They're 50% in the second half. The Hawks 41. Now have slumped to 27%. They're 4-15 from the field here in the fourth quarter. Bench scoring 31-18. The Sonics have outscored the Hawks. Ellis with 15. Ed Gray at the line. Hits the free throw. Ed Gray with 11 points, 6 in the quarter. And it's an 87-85 lead of 2 for the Sonics with possession. Payton trying to break the double team. Feeds to Perkins, and Gary runs away. Sam's pass to Gary.
The ball was deflected.
Not deflected, thrown out of bounds, they say.
Oh, no.
Kenny Maurer missed the call. It looked like it was deflected by Laettner.
And Rashawn, Michelle, and Ed F. Rush, neither one of those guys saw the play. I mean, he's going to be clearly deflected. Laettner with the pressure. No one helps Gary. Helps, you know, it didn't look like it from that angle, but I tell you, the ball was deflected. I saw the change of flight on the basketball.
Atlanta will bring it in bounds with a chance to tie or take the lead. Steve Smith, he's been quiet. Loops it on top to Laettner with the ball above the head. 14 on the shot clock. Henderson beneath the rim. Double pumps and jam. And we are tied at 87-87.
Henderson just shed himself of Detlef Schrempf inside. Got a nice feed. Hawk came over to try and help, but by that time, much too late.
87-87, 2:26 left in the ball game. Now the Sonics go to work. Payton off the Baker screen. Drops down to the baseline. Throws back outside off the Baker pick. Payton left of the key. Swings it over to Detlef. Crossover on the Perkins screen to Payton. Drives right side. Forced outside by Laettner. He's got a drop step into traffic. Fall away lefty is up and rimming out. Rebound to Laettner. 87-87 score. Here comes Atlanta on a 7-0 run.
Again, a game of inches. That ball was all but down in the cup. Just popped back out. A left-handed try by Gary Payton, just short.
2 minutes left in the game. Gray to Smith for the three. It's short. Rebound grabbed by Henderson. Payton ties up Henderson, and we have a jump ball.
Now you got to think about stealing this tap. Gary Payton 6'4", Alan Henderson 6'9", 6'10". You know what's going to happen. Henderson should control it. But as a defender, you got to guess where the ball is going to be tapped. The two Hawks are together. That's Laettner And Smith right now for Hersey Hawkins is trying to get in there and come up with the steal.
Atlanta has only led once in this game. That was at 67-66. We have a tie game now. Here's the ball deflected by Henderson outside on the jump to Steve Smith. 1:42 left in the game. Steve Smith has yet to score here in the fourth quarter after drilling the Sonics for 5 of 6, including 2 threes in the third quarter. They rotate to Henderson, and he's wide open on the baseline. Inexplicably went to a reverse. He had a jam, but decided to reverse and blew it. The Sonics bring it up. Strips pass to Hawkins. Knocked down by Leitner. Last touch by Leitner out of bounds.
George Karl does not like what he's seeing out here. He needs to get his team settled down, get them into some offense that he is comfortable with, what they are comfortable with.
1:22 left in the game and a timeout. Score tied at 87. The Sonics have possession when we return in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. 1:22 left here in the fourth quarter of play. Alan Henderson a moment ago jammed to tie the game and then had a chance to give Atlanta the lead.
Should have just exploded. Look at the little push by Vin Baker, though. That's just enough to get him off balance and make him miss that shot, but he should have just powered through the arm of Vin Baker.
Seattle will bring it in bounds. After the timeout, Sam needs help. Gary comes up in his face to grab it. Now Gary will hand off to Detlef. The Sonics will invert. Payton will drop down low. Schrempf will swing it to Gary Payton. Working on the 6'8" Smith, works his way to the middle. Finds Perkins outside. Cox loads, fires the three, in and out. Baker deflects the rebound out of bounds. It'll be Atlanta ball with 20, make that 1:07 left. 1:07 left here in the fourth quarter.
I mean, not a bad look by Sam Perkins. Christian Laettner did a good job closing out, extended the arms, made it a difficult shot. Now, interesting move here. Lenny Wilkins going with Ed Gray, the scorer on offense. Going to take the Mookster out of there, probably do some platoon substitution, offense to defense, defense to offense.
87-87 with a minute left.
But that's a lot of confidence in a rookie if you're Lenny Wilkins.
Smith will give it to Leitner at the top of the key. Leitner shadowed by Perkins. Leitner with 9 on the shot clock. Out beyond the three-point arc to Alan Henderson. Trying to stand his ground as Schrempf. Henderson out to Leitner for the three. In and out. Rebound to Kemby after it, but Baker taps it away. Right to Gary Payton with 40 seconds left in the game. Across midcourt comes the glove, covered by Steve Smith.
Go inside the Van.
Payton looking that way. Now go outside to Detlef. Hard drive. Left to right. Finger rolling up. No. Baker after the rebound. Deflected. Grabbed by Gray. Atlanta will bring it up. With 21 on the shot clock. There's 22 and 8/10 seconds remaining on the game clock.
Yeah.
And the score tied at 87.
Game of inches as Detlef. You know, I think he thought that Dikembe was going to give him more of a challenge to block the shot, so he went with the quick kind of high finger roll. But, I mean, you can't really complain a lot. The ball, again, close, but no Macanudo. I mean, nice little drive, nice penetrate. I think he thought, he'd have just taken a routine, kind of more conventional runner. It may have had a better chance, but you can't fault dead. He's shown the ability not only to knock that shot down right-handed, but over the last ball game, left-handed also, so he can hit it.
Sonics have missed their last 6 shots, and now Atlanta will have it with 22 and 8/10 seconds remaining in the game.
And then the bad part, obviously, is that the Hawks can wait until the last possession, but most coaches, most good coaches, like to shoot it with maybe 3 seconds left so that they do have a chance for an offensive rebound. But now the Sonic defense that came up with some just huge, some massive turnovers against Indiana will be tested tonight here at Atlanta. Can they come up with the steal, come up with the big play defensively?
Single game tickets are available. Call Ticketmaster at 206-628-0888. Thursday, Detroit is in town. Milwaukee on the 16th with Ray Allen and Terrell Brandon. Exciting backcourt. Vancouver is coming up on the 19th. And then San Antonio with Tim Duncan, David Robinson. That's on the 21st. You'll want to get your seats for that one. Chicago's in town on the 25th. Sacramento the 28th. And Orlando on the 30th. The Sonics 5-1. Atlanta is 6-0. Their best start ever. Atlanta, by the way, has won 9 straight overtime games. In case you're wondering about overtime, Atlanta's been very, very tough in the OT. 3 nights ago, they beat Cleveland on the road in overtime. But right now, it's 87-87. Atlanta basketball with 22 and 8/10 seconds remaining to play in the game. 21 on the game clock.
Yeah, now look at
the shot clock.
The shot clock. But Lenny Wilkins, look at him. He's going with the 3-guard alignment. Going to put Ed Gray on the floor along with Mookie and Steve Smith, so he's got some firepower out there. If you choose to double team Dikembe inside, he's got some options outside, but Steve Smith, obviously, to me, is a guy, 21 points a game, big-time clutch shooter, has a height advantage over Gary Payton. He should be able to get a jump shot off over Gary Payton.
Atlanta will bring it in bounds at Mookie Blaylock at midcourt, shadowed by Hersey Hawkins. Perkins comes out to double. Mookie works it out on the wing, maintaining the dribble. 13 seconds remaining in the ball game. Laettner now with it, straddles the three-point arc, gives to Smith, leaps to get it. Working on Payton on the block, he turns, rivals up a shot, got it! Atlanta takes the lead. Atlanta with only their second lead of the game. Steve Smith with the follow-away baseline jumper makes it 89-87 Hawks.
That's that height advantage I was talking about. Smith is 6'8", Payton at 6'4". Payton's a great defender, but when you have that kind of advantage, Smith knows that he just calmly collects the pass in to the post. But Payton played pretty tough defense to make it a tough pass. But once Smith got it, all he had to do was collect himself, gather, and just shoot right over the top of Gary Payton. Nothing but cord. Big-time clutch shot for Steve Smith. The Sonics with 5 seconds, just under 5 seconds, 4.9. One more chance to tie this game up or possibly win the three-pointer.
Atlanta's gone on a 9-0 run to take just their second lead of the game. The Sonics had an 8-point lead with 5 minutes remaining in this contest. Atlanta has come back, and they have done it with Ed Gray, a rookie, scoring 6 of his 11 here in the fourth. Alan Henderson coming off the bench, coming alive with 6 of his 7. Here in Atlanta, they're awfully proud of their bench. Henderson and Gray have, well, they've come up big here in this fourth period. They weren't even factors in the first half.
Well, I think that's about as deep as they go. You see Pick Miller over there, and then Chucky Brown and some other players, but the main guys, obviously Henderson, and then the rookie Ed Gray out of Cal. 25 points a game last year as a collegiate, second in the country in scoring, and he's just a big-time athlete. For the Sonics, if the three-point shot is there, it'll be interesting to see who George puts on the floor. If he puts a Dale Ellis on the floor, along with these other guys, just to give himself a little bit more of an option on the outside. Because I'd have to have Dale in the game at this point. He hasn't taken up the warm-up yet, but all right, yeah, there he goes. Okay, get it off.
Smith tonight with 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He had a superb third quarter when he had 5 of 6 field goals and scored 13 of his 21. But here in the fourth period, it's been the combination of Henderson and Gray for 13 points. And Smith obviously with that jumper with 4, 9, 10 seconds remaining in the game to give them the 89-87 lead. Seattle now will have Hawkins, Payton, Baker, Ellis, and Schrempf on the floor.
And Lenny doing something interesting. He's not going to put a guy on the ball. A lot of people, Alan Henderson, is he going to defend the ball? Yeah, he is. No, he's just going to lay back and try and be that 5th defender against 4 offensive guys with Detlef taking the ball out. It makes it very difficult to get the ball in, get a good, clean look at a pass.
Schrempf to bring it in bounds. Payton will come to the top of the key. He'll take it, driving into the lane, lost the handle, got it back, lays it up with the lefty. Oh, in and out. Can you believe that? Corbin with a rebound, and the game is over. And Atlanta has won it 89-87. Gary got into the middle, had the ball chopped out of his hands, and came right back up in his chest. He laid it up with the left hand. It rimmed around and fell out. Atlanta, with just their second lead of the game, is able to win this one and go 7-0. They have lived a charmed life. And tonight, they come away with a 2-point lead and the win. 89-87 the score. We'll be back with a recap in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.